Is your fear of being seen costing you clients? I don't know about you ladies, but I hit a point in my business where I had to sit down and actually calculate what my fear of being seen was costing me. The posts that I didn't publish, the prices that I didn't even quote, the clients who walked away because I over-explained the costs. I added it all up conservatively, and it was way over $60,000 in 1 year. And that's not counting the opportunities that I couldn't even measure. The podcasts and the speaking invitations that I didn't respond to, the collaborations I was too afraid to pitch, the version of my business that could have existed if I wasn't hiding. So today, I want to walk you through 5 specific signs that your fear of being seen isn't just an emotional problem. It's a revenue problem. And I'm going to show you exactly where the money is leaking and what to do about it. Hey, I'm Jovelyn. I'm a mindset coach and hypnotherapist for entrepreneurs. And this video is part of a series on healing the fear of being seen. So if you haven't watched the first one, the shadow work episode, I'll link it right up here. Now that's the deep inner work that we really need to start with. Today we're doing the maths because sometimes we just need to see what something is costing us before we're ready to deal with it. And here's what most business coaches won't tell you. The fear of being seen has a price, and that price really isn't small. So let me break this down. When you're afraid of being seen, this is what you do. You do things like undercharging because quoting your real rate might feel arrogant or greedy to you, or you might not feel like you're worth that rate. So let's say you're currently charging now $250 to $300 when you should be charging $1,800, right? That's $1,500 per client times 10 clients a year. That's $15,000 just gone, all because you've been fearful. And not because you're not worth it, it's because you're afraid of the discomfort of being seen charging it. Okay, what about not posting consistently? Because every time you share something real, you want to delete it or you don't post it at all. So you might post once a month, once a year. So it's kind of like you're really not getting your business out there, right? There's 2 main things that you need to do in business to make it successful. The first one is marketing, to let everyone know what you can offer, how you can help them. And if you're not marketing, then you won't even get to the second point, which is sales. And so because you're not going out there and you're not posting your videos and just getting your message out in the world, no one's coming to you. So your pipeline dries up and you lose clients that you didn't even know existed because they never found you in the first place. Not pitching yourself, podcast collaborations, speaking gigs, guest posts, all the things that grow your authority and bring in referrals. You don't do any of them. Not because you're not qualified. And it's not because you don't have the education or the experience or the skills. It's because the thought of putting yourself forward makes you cringe and it feels bad, right? I know how you feel. I've been there before. What about over-explaining your prices? This is what I used to do often. You know this one. A potential client asks what you charge, and then instead of just saying the number and staying quiet, you give them a 5-minute justification as to why you're charging those prices, and then you end up giving them this whole list of everything that you would do for them for that price, and then you end up doing too much and then you burn out. But you know the energy of that? It communicates doubt and it burns you out. So then it ends up killing your sales. Now, this isn't a self-esteem problem, ladies. This is a visibility wound. It's costing you so much more than you think. Okay, sign number 1, you undercharge. Here's how you know this one is really costing you. You quote a price, and the client might say yes, but instead of feeling excited, you feel tired. Because deep down, you know that you didn't charge them what you really wanted, and you ended up leaving money on the table. Now, this happens when your fear of visibility shows up in your pricing. You're afraid that if you charge what you're actually worth, people will see you. They might scrutinize you. They might find out you're a fraud, that you really don't know what you claim you know. And then they might think, who does she think she is? So then you charge less, and then the client says yes. But you're exhausted because you're working twice as hard for not even half of the value that you're worth. That's what we call visibility tax. So the fix to do this is to write down your real rate. The number that makes you slightly uncomfortable, but also feels true to you, that you'll be happy with. Don't let any doubts, overpower this particular exercise, okay? Just write it down. And then from there, I want you to practice saying it out loud 10 times in the mirror. Or you can just record yourself and say it out loud over and over and over again until that feeling of discomfort that you feel disappears. Now, that feeling of discomfort, that's not a sign that the price is wrong. That's really the visibility wound that keeps popping up. Okay? So keep saying it until your voice doesn't break. And then the trick is when you actually say it, pause and don't say anything. So let me give you an example, right? If you charge $1,800 for a transformation, so what you'll say is, the cost for the package is $1,800. And then you wait. You wait for the client to think about that price, to calculate in their mind whether they can afford it or not, or whether they see the value in it. Now the ball is in their court. You don't have to say anything. All right? So practice that. Okay, sign number 2. You promote everyone but yourself. All right, so you're the first person to share your friend's launch. You might end up leaving a glowing review for your mentor. You might end up hyping your colleague's new offer all the time. But then when it comes down to you promoting your own work and your own business, suddenly you find yourself too busy, or you're telling yourself, I'll let the work speak for itself. And you never tell anyone about it. Now, the cost here isn't just lost sales, ladies. It's the loss of authority. Because every time you promote someone else's work and you're silent on yourself, you're training your audience to see that you're a supporter rather than an expert. And supporters don't really get paid. So the fix for this, for every 3 times that you promote someone else, I want you to promote yourself at least once. Make it a rule. And before you post, ask yourself, would I share this if it was my best friend's offer? And if the answer is yes, then post it. Your work deserves the same energy that you give everyone else's. Sign number 3. This is where you ghost your business. This is the cycle. You post something vulnerable or something powerful, and it starts to get views. People are starting to engage with it, and then you just disappear. Or you might work really hard getting your YouTube channel up and running. You're posting daily. And then a week goes by or a month goes by, and then you ghost your audience. And you might ghost them for a week, or you might ghost them for 2 weeks or a month or even a year. Does that sound familiar to you, ladies? And you tell yourself you're taking a break or you're focusing on client work. But the real reason, we call this the visibility hangover. You put yourself out there, the younger part of you panicked, and she pulled the emergency brake. And here's the cost, ladies. Every time you ghost, the algorithm forgets you, and your engagement drops, your audience loses momentum, and when you finally come back, you're starting from scratch again. So the fix for you, if this is what you're doing, first of all, batch your content when you're feeling brave. Record 3 videos, 5 videos, write 4 posts and start to schedule them. Because the version of you that gets scared in the future will no longer pop up because you're actually taking action during the time that you feel brave. Okay, sign number 4, you over-explain your value. So if you've ever sent a proposal that was 5 pages long when it should have been 1, then this one is for you. If you've ever given a potential client your entire methodology, your credentials, your life story, and 3 case studies before you even told them your price, then this is you. Over-explaining is a trauma response, and it comes from the belief that if people really saw you, they'd reject you. So then you bury yourself in proof. And what it actually does is it communicates to your client that you're insecure. And the client will feel this. The client feels your need for approval. And that, ladies, is not attractive. So the fix for this, practice this line. My rate for this is X. And you don't say a word, you wait for the client to make the next move. No explanation at all. Let the silence sit. The first few times is going to feel so uncomfortable, but do not say a word. Don't do it. But just do it anyway, and I want you to practice this and see what happens when you tell them your price. Success makes you want to hide. Now, this is the most expensive one. This is where you hit a milestone, a big client or a revenue goal. You might get some recognition, but instead of celebrating, you end up crashing. You feel exposed, you feel guilty, like you did something wrong by succeeding. So what do? You self-sabotage. You stop posting, you pull back on your sales calls, you create a problem or a drama or a health issue that takes you out of the game because success made you visible. And visibility to you feels dangerous. So the cost of this one is impossible to calculate because it's the money you don't make after the win. It's the momentum that you pretty much shut down. Now the fix, when something good happens, don't distract yourself, ladies. Sit with the discomfort of being able to be seen as succeeding. And just let it be uncomfortable. Journal on it. Why does it even feel unsafe to you? What am I afraid will happen now that I've succeeded? It's crazy, isn't it? Now, the answer is usually something from childhood. So name it, because once you name it, it loses its power when you see it. Now, ladies, if this is resonating with you, and I'm going to guess at least one of you will feel that those signs hit, please hit that like button. It actually helps this video reach more women who need to see this. And if you're serious about clearing these blocks, I do offer one-on-one breakthrough work using hypnotherapy and subconscious reprogramming. The link's in the description below. Now, here's what I want you to do. Just pick one, and the one that stung the most when I said it, and this week, do the fix. I don't want you to do it next month. Don't wait on this. Don't procrastinate, ladies. Not when you feel ready. I want you to do it this week. Because here's the thing about the fear of being seen. It doesn't go away by waiting. It doesn't get easier by avoiding. It heals when you actually show up. when you do the thing that you're fearful of. And that's where the personal growth kicks in. And that's when the revenue starts to increase for you. Remember, your thoughts determine your feelings, which determines how you vibrate in this world. And when you're vibrating at the frequency of please don't notice me, you're repelling clients and any opportunities, and also the income that you want for yourself, because you've been working so hard to attract it. So if this video hit something in you, subscribe and hit the bell. I do post every week moving forward. Until we meet again, ladies, live wild, live free, wild woman run free. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.